Welcome, my name is Jeff. I'm going to teach you how to create a basic PHP contact form. You can find this article by going to our website, cloudymouse.com. The article you're looking for is how to create a basic PHP contact form. We'll start with the HTML part of it, creating the contact form. Now there's going to be an opening and closing form tag. That's what houses the entire form. And inside of that you're going to have different input fields and also a text area. Now there's three different properties inside the first form tag. The only one you need to worry about is the action property. This tells us where the PHP file is going to send the data is located. And then next to your input fields. This is going to be how the user submits data. Each input field will have a type and a name. The name is going to be how the PHP file references the data that the user submitted. So, for example, we have name, email, and comments. The text area tag also has a closing tag, but the input tag don't. You also need to set the rows and columns for the text area. This one's set for 5 rows and 15 columns. Each of the input fields have a type. In this example, we use text. That's the standard text box that we see in most contact forms. Other than that, there's also button, checkbox, date, email, file, image, password, a lot of different options there. And then here you can see the example of that contact form that we had up there. Down the bottom we've got the reset form and submit form buttons. Now for the PHP file. This is going to be the minimum PHP coding you're going to need to send the basic contact form. If you want to add extra security to prevent spam, there are other verification methods that you can add. We'll discuss those in another lesson. The main thing we're setting right here is the variables. As you can see, there's $name, $email, $message. And then each of these is grabbing information from the contact form, where we would set the different input fields, where maybe equals name, maybe equals email, maybe equals comments. And then here's where we're grabbing it with $, underscore, post, and then in brackets with quotation marks, you got name, email, and comments. This next section is formatting that information for the body of the email that it's going to send to whatever email address you specify. And then we got the line of code that actually sends the email to your email address. In this example, we got your email at example.com. You'll change that to your email address. Then we got the subject line that's going to show up in the email, where we got basic contact form. You can change that to whatever you want it to be. And then there's who it's from. We have Cloudy Mouse blog, and you'll change that to the name of your website. And at the bottom here we have the redirect. This is going to be where you send the user after they submit the form. So you got the contact form done in your HTML page or PHP using PHP, and then you have your PHP file that actually sends the contact information. The last thing you're going to want to check is the permissions of the PHP file. By default, most PHP files and other files are going to be set to 666, and you're going to want to have it read 644. Otherwise, the people sending the form will get a server error when they try to hit submit. And that's it. Create the form in HTML on your web page, and then you create a PHP file